It's time for the one and the only show. It's the Luke Howard Show Live. Such a happy audience, but just to remind you all, and just to let you all know, we haven't actually really got an audience. That's just a sound effect audience. It's not a real audience, okay? So I'd let you all know, it's not a real one, it's just a pretend audience. It's just a sound effect. Everyone knows that, and I'm sure you all do. Morning! It's Monday the 20th of July, and welcome to a brand new week of the one and the only show, the Luke Howard Show. Lots of things to look forward to this week. Tomorrow, we're going to be interviewing Great Aunt Val. Would you believe? Wow! Sounds amazing. Sounds absolutely. I'm really excited about catching up with her tomorrow. She's going to be talking about her experience in the mountains, because she's still living in those mountains. Last time we spoke to her, she was living in the mountains, and she still is living in the mountains at this moment. So we are going to be speaking to her on the show tomorrow, because tomorrow I think the show is going to be on, I think, either at 10 or 11. We go with the flow with the show at the moment. We go with the flow at this very moment, of course. So we could be on at 10 or 11 tomorrow. Like today, we're on at 11:15 today, which is a great time, until 12 o'clock. I'm here till 12 o'clock today, till midday, and then tomorrow I should be here, I think, about either 10 or 11 ish. We'll let you know about that. Got lots of stuff to talk about on the show today. Going back to today, we're going to be talking about 10 things that you can do on a holiday. What are you on holiday? Are you listening while you're on holiday now? Are you listening to their rules? What are you doing? Are you gone away on holiday? Because, of course, everywhere I know has been fully booked up for the course of this time, of course. If you are on holiday, do get in touch with us. 07593. Whatever you're doing, do get in touch with us. 07593 847 105 is the number to text. So the word talk and your name and where you're from. Or call that number, of course, and we'll get straight back to you. Email us, GaryJHoward68@hotmail.com. Or find us on Instagram. It's at the Luke Howard fan page. Or use the other email, which is 345 at student.hrc.ac.uk. We'd love to hear from you, however you are getting in touch with us today. Or use the hashtags, #Luke Howard, #Luke Howard Show, #listen to the Luke Howard Show. We'd love to hear from you. So do get in touch with us, please do. Go ahead, be my guest, as I say. So, okay, let's start off the show then by talking about what's in the news today. Now, there was a piece of news that actually sparkled my eye this morning. It's coronavirus protein treatment trial as a breakthrough. Now, the preliminary results of a clinical trial suggest that a new treatment for COVID-19 dramatically reduces the number of patients. Now, this is needing intensive care. This is according to the UK company that actually developed it. Now, the treatment from Southampton, would you believe, based Simulanogen, uses a protein called interferon beta, which the body processes when it goes over in a viral infection. Now, the protein is inhaled indirectly into the lungs of patients with coronavirus using a neutralizer in the hope that it will simulate an immune response. The eventual findings suggest that the treatment could cut the odds of the COVID-19 patient in hospital developing severe disease, such as requiring ventilation by 79%, would you believe, which is a lot. Now, patients were 2 to 3 times more likely to recover, to the point where everybody's activities were not compromised by the illness, syndrome claims. It said that the trial also identified very significant restrictions, breathlessness among patients who received this treatment. Now, in addition, the average time patients spent in hospital is said to have been reduced by a third for those receiving the new drug, down from an average of 9 days to 6 days. Now, the double-blind trial involved 101 volunteers who had actually been admitted for a treatment at 9 UK hospitals for the COVID-19 infections. Now, half of the participants were given the drug, and the other half got what it was known as a placebo, an encryption substance. Now, the unconfirmed result is that a stock market has ruled, a submission is obliged in report to the results of this trial. The results have not been published in a peer-reviewed journal, nor has the full data been made available, so the BBC cannot confirm the claims made for this treatment. But the results are such, as a company has said, that it will be very important to step forward in the treatment of coronavirus infections. Now, in the scientists in charge of a trial, Tom Wilkinson. Now, okay, He said that it is the results that are confirmed in the larger studies, and the new treatment will be a game changer. Now, the trial was relatively small, but it was the signal that the treatment benefits patients and was usually strong. He also said that he couldn't have expected much better results than these, and the Switzerland chief executive Richard Marston has told the BBC that he described the results as a major breakthrough. Really? Ending the treatment of a hospitalised COVID-19 patients. Now, they're asking what is going to be happening next. Mr. Marston said the company will be presenting the findings to medical regulations around the world in the next couple of days to see what further information they require in order to approve the treatment. Now, apparently, Boris Johnson reckons that all of this is going to be over by October. Now, this is not going to be over by October. It's not going to be over by then. It's going to take ages for this all to pass by. Now, the process could take months, here you go, although the British government, like many others, has said that it will work as fast as possible to get promising coronavirus treatments approved. It is possible it could be given emergency approval as the antiviral drug was back in May this year. Another possibility is that the permission will be given for more patients to receive the treatment, with the effects being carefully monitored to confirm it is safe and effective. It does not approve all the drug, and its use is to deliver it, and would then need to be massivated in large quantities. Mr. Marston said he instructed companies to start producing supplies back in April to ensure they would be possible and available, and should the results be positive, of course. He says that he expects Serogen to be able to deliver a new 100,000 doses a month by the winter this year. Now, how does the treatment work? They're actually saying in the news that it could. We're going to talk about Goodwood Festival later on this week, because apparently it's been emerged that they're going to have 5,000 spectators there, and I couldn't believe it. So we'll talk about that later on in the show. Or later on this week, I think we'll talk about that. Now, infection beta is part of the body's first line of defence against viruses, while warning it to expect a virtual attack. The coronavirus seems to need protection as part of its strategy to avoid our immune systems. Now, the new drug is a special formulation of interferon beta delivered directly to the organs via a neutralizer, which makes the protein into an aerosol. The idea is that a direct dose of the protein in the lungs will trigger a stronger antiviral response, even in patients whose immune systems are already weak. The interferon beta is commonly used to the treatment of multiple sclerosis. The preventive trials conducted by Serum Institute have shown that it can simulate on the immune response, and that patients can asthma and other critical lung conditions can comfortably tolerate at this treatment. Now, how was the treatment tested? Because no one involved in the trial knew which patients had been given which treatment until it was over. Now, if you know it's a drug, your mind might have a bias, because it explained to Sandy Atkin, one of the nurses who actually mentioned the new drug to patients at Southampton Hospital. This emergency trial was the template of the CORD programme, which is a fast-track clinical trial scheme which was set up by the UK government in April to escalate the development of new drugs for patients with the COVID-19. Now, the Solution team believe this drug could be even more effective at the early stages of infection. The trial exploring the effects of given patients who are in high-risk groups. The new drug, as soon as they are confirmed as having COVID-19, has struggled to find volunteers because there are so few new infections at this very, very moment. Okay, we'll leave that story there for now, because we are going to move on to one more story. So let's talk about the US actress Amber Heard. She's knelt on ex-wife on Johnny Depp. It's Johnny Depp. He's knelt on ex-wife Amber Heard and hit her on the back of her head during a row about a pre-nuptial agreement. And she's told the court that Mr. Heard also said that he had very little decisions about making power in this marriage. Mr. Depp is 57 years old and he's suing the publisher of The Sun over an article that referred to him as a wife beater, but the newspaper maintains it was actually accurate. He denies 14 allegations of domestic violence, of which News Group newspapers is relying for its defence. Taken to the witness stand it's London's High Court on the 10th day of the case, Miss Heard said he had been subjected to repeated and irregular physical violence by the time of the couple's marriage back in 2015, which is a couple of years back. Now, she was asked about allegations of agreement back in January 2015 over decisions with lawyers about a prenuptial agreement between herself and Mr. Depp. There was an argument in a hotel room in Tokyo in Japan that resulted in Johnny Depp's kneeling on my back and hitting me on the back to the head, as Heard told the court. She added, but then Johnny was also accusing me of having an affair with the co-star, and that it was what led to the actual argument, because it was. The actress was also asked Mr. Depp's lawyer, Eleanor Loss QC, whether she had unlimited control on this relationship. Miss Heard replied, no, absolutely not. No, absolutely not. Asked whether she took important decisions in the relationship, and Miss Heard said that no, I had very little decision about making power in this relationship. She was asked about 5 penthouse apartments in the Eastern Columbia. Wow, that's where our... Oh no, that's in Los Angeles. No, I got the wrong place. Which her sister and friend moved into. She asked whether they paid the rent, and Miss Heard said no, Johnny wouldn't let them. Okay, there you go. And there's that story there. It just says it all. Right, so let's start off then by talking about now the lockdown easing, 10 things you can do this summer. There are lots of things you can do, okay, because with lockdown easing, would you believe, many of us are planning to make the most of summer. But what are we actually allowed to do though over the holiday season? A lot of people don't actually know what they're going to do. No one really knows. I mean, everywhere you look, as I said earlier on, it's all been booked up. Nowhere you can really go. We've looked everywhere. There is a quick guide I want to talk about now of some socially distanced summer experiences in the UK. But you don't even have to go abroad. I mean, our cousins, they've gone away to Turkey today, okay? They've gone away for a week, for 11 days. They must be mad. I love them very, very much. But to go away at this time isn't a very good time to go away, to be honest with you. And then we've got my aunts, mum and dad, who are going away to Ibiza today as well. And then my uncle and aunt and all that go to Ibiza every year. So they love going there. They love it. They absolutely love it. They love Ibiza. So you can take a break in the remote cabin. You can go to a cabin. I mean, what's the point of going abroad when you can go on holiday right here in the beautiful United Kingdom? So with many European jurisdictions have declared themselves open to the Brits. Plenty are opting with a staycation. You've got to do a staycation, everybody, this summer. The PM has himself urged people to holiday at the home, saying the UK had Peerless, which is where everywhere's been fully booked up. Wonderful, superlative places to visit. Now, with social distancing in front of people's minds, virtual retreats appear to be one of the options of choice. According to the Airbnb, the top 10 most wish-listed homes on its site from the start of the lockdown on the middle of June were composed entirely of the UK destinations. I think the staycation is very much back in fashion this year. Now, cabins, lodges, glamping and converted shipping containers have all been on sites and most wished for the list. Comparably has also seen the UK accommodation of all kinds saw a surge in bookings after Boris Johnson gave the overhead for self-catering accommodations. Hotels, bed and breakfasts and campsites are also to be open. Of course, they're already opened have been open since the 4th of July. Now, however, the spectator of coronavirus means holiday makers and experienced big changes and charges are in the way. Changes in the way. Decisions are run such as contactless check-in, no breakfast buffets or mini bars, extra hand washing basins and regular deep cleans. Well, I never. You can see a film there at an open air cinema, would you believe? It's basically you can sit in your car, in the car park, and you can watch it on the screen in a car park. I mean, you can basically go park your car up and watch it. And there are drive-in cinemas, but they are no longer the sole preserve of the frisky American teens. A host of new drive-in and open-air cinemas have been announced in recent weeks, with, I would believe, promoters converting underutilized spaces into massive venues to entice nervous cinema goers back to the big screen. The surge in the UK drove in options, which meant that film fans will be able to watch a raft of cult classics from the comfort of their cars, or from the refuge social distance outside while immersing themselves in 1950s Americana. Now, some organisations are insisting to a 2-metre expectation between cars, simulating wireless speakers and scanning tickets through closed windows or organising entry by a number plate. Offers are offering cinema goers the chance to order snacks through an app, which will be delivered to cars by roller skating style, would you believe, and move over Poslanida. And here comes Pasto. Now, you can go to a drive-in and rave gig or performance. You can do that as well. But the driving opportunities don't stop there, because a number of car park raves, as well as live music and comedy gigs, are also being planned across the summer. The Comedy Story is hosting a series of drive-in shows. This is at rugby grounds and racetrackers throughout July and August, with a Gospath Park in Newcastle will see performances by Supergrass, the Libertons and Maximo Park next month. Those shows will take place at what's been actually built as the UK's first socially distanced live arena, where fans will have their own private